Today I want to talk about a fear that I kept secret for a very long time. I struggled with this fear when I was 13 to my 16th birthday. I kept this fear secret for a very long time because I was very ashamed to talk about this, and it was a very hard fear and I really struggled and I really wanted help, but I couldn't ask for help because I was so ashamed. But today I'm going to make this fear known. So I'm going to talk about this today, and I told no one ever before except my mom when I was 19 years old. But today I'm going to make it known to other people too, and so maybe people can recognize themselves with it. I had a fear for getting hungry. Yeah, so I was afraid of getting hungry. Maybe this sounds really strange, but I'm going to explain this in this video. But I want to talk about this in this video because when I was 15, I felt really lonely with this fear, and I tried to search for other people on the internet, but I couldn't find other people with the same fear as me. Actually, I still feel really ashamed because of it, but I thought let's share it because maybe there are more people that struggle with this fear, but if everyone is too ashamed to share this, then how could this fear then ever be known by other people? So, but where did this fear start? Well, I earlier told about my selective mutism on my YouTube channel. Selective mutism is a social anxiety disorder, and I struggled with it. I think my fear for hunger started with selective mutism because when I was 13 I went to a draw club with draw lessons, and one day when I was 13 I was getting hungry there, and I was afraid that they would hear my stomach. Yeah, and because of that selective mutism I was afraid to make sounds, and I was afraid people could hear me. So I was afraid they would hear my stomach when I was hungry, and I was afraid that they would know that I was hungry, and I was afraid that they would think that I can only think about food and that I'm dirty and that I'm a dirty person that only thinks about food and only can eat and only thinks about food. So I was afraid that they would think that of me. Yeah, so the next time I went to this draw club, I was afraid of getting hungry again. So I was eating more food before I went to the draw club because I was so afraid of getting hungry again. And when I was there, I felt only afraid of getting hungry. And the next time I went to that club, I was afraid again, so I was eating more and more food. I didn't like it to be there because I was only afraid and my attention was only on getting hungry. So this fear first developed on the draw club, but this fear was getting stronger and stronger each year, and it was getting bigger and bigger, and I wasn't only afraid of getting hungry only at the draw school, but I was afraid on more places too. I was afraid of getting hungry by family parties, and I was afraid of getting hungry by friends. So I was isolating myself more and more, and it was a secret, so I couldn't share it. Yeah, so I couldn't go outside without eating a lot of food and making sure that I'm full. I think I gained a lot of weight too when I was 15 because of this, because every time when I went out of the house I had to make myself full with bread, chocolate and noodles. I didn't like it to be with other people because I was so afraid that they would know that I was hungry and that they would think that I was a dirty person. I really wanted help, but I couldn't tell it because I was so ashamed for it. This fear was getting stronger and stronger and I couldn't do nothing. So when I was going outside of house, I had to make myself full and I did bread in my pockets for if I was getting hungry, so I was sure that I was having food with me. And if I was with people I didn't like it anymore, even with the fun things like family parties, I only was afraid of getting hungry and I only wanted to go home as fast as possible. I really didn't want to feel hungry, and when I felt hungry when I was with other people, I was in panic, but I couldn't show them. Yeah, in this time I felt so ashamed for my body and I hated my body and I thought my body was disgusting, fat and ugly and I didn't like it and I hated it. I hated to see my body and I felt so ashamed for it. Actually, I thought my body was so fat and ugly and I wanted to lose weight, but I couldn't lose weight because I was afraid of getting hungry and I felt really stuck with it. I think I felt depressed of it too because I felt so much hate for my body and I felt so sad about it. I felt so tired of this fear for hungry and I wanted help because I didn't want it anymore. I wanted to lose weight and I hated my body so much and I really wanted help, but I couldn't ask it because I felt so ashamed. I didn't want to live like this anymore. There was a time I decided to isolate myself to lose weight so I could love myself more and love my body more. My mom did describe me and my sister for a clay workshop, and this clay workshop was around dinner time, but around dinner time I would get hungry, and when my mom told this, she subscribed me and my sister around this time, I felt really afraid and I didn't know what to do anymore and I was so afraid. And I was afraid that my mom and my sister would hate me because I didn't want to go. But then I told her that I was struggling with a secret fear that she didn't know about. I couldn't tell her because I was so ashamed, but that was the reason why I didn't want to go and she believed me, but I couldn't tell her what fear this was. I can remember when I was 15 that I was trying to find on internet for other people that struggle with fear for hunger, but I couldn't find them and I thought I was the only one. I thought I was a weird person and that's why I want to share this. I want to let other people know if they struggle with this fear, then you're not alone and there's nothing to shame for. I shamed for this too. Some people are afraid of really strange fears and you're not alone, so please ask for help. But if you're too afraid and too ashamed to ask for help, then please tell someone that you struggle with a fear, that you too afraid of to talk about it, so people know that you struggle with something, so you're less alone with it. For now I don't struggle with this fear anymore because when I was 16 I wanted to lose weight so much. I decided to fight against this fear because if I was eating more and more then I wouldn't lose weight, so I had to fight against it, and I'm so happy I don't have it anymore because I didn't like to isolate myself, because of getting hungry, and so I'm really happy that I don't live like that anymore. Well, this was my new video. I hope you like it and it helps you for somehow. So, bye!